Okay, so we're going to be setting some chicken eggs today. So I have had the incubator running for 24 hours and to get to the right temperature, and the temperature is a little bit low. It's 37.5, but I've just taken the lid off because inside the incubator, if I can, I'm going to pause it and then I'm going to show you what the inside looks like. Okay, so that's the inside of the incubator. That is the top of the incubator. That is the heating element and the fan. And here you can see that little plastic kind of cog, and that goes on here. Now when that goes on here, it pushes it side to side and it rocks the eggs like so. So once that's on there, now I forgot to put my little water spout thingamabobby in my water reservoir, so my humidity is low at the moment, and it will be lower again because I've taken the lid off, so bear with me 1 second. Okay, so lid is back on. Now I'm going to use a torch because my incubator is in a kind of cubby hole thing where it's dark, but we've got the temperature rising, 32.9, 33, 33.1, and then the humidity is rising also, so that will go to 37.5, and the humidity is set at 55. Now you can manually set the humidity via the menu buttons, which I won't be able to do because it's dark. You won't see the display, and I have got both hands tied up at the moment. But the good thing about the Ovation EX, this is the number 28, I believe this was 340 from the Brinsea website, is that it automatically does its humidity. So it has this little tubing that goes into the back, and I actually use a spray bottle with the top broken off. This was actually accidental. I did this accidentally. Dropped it on the floor and the top smashed. What I was actually using at the time was this on the bloody floor. Excuse the carpet, my floor needs vacuuming because of my brooders. I've had my babies out today, but that's what I was using essentially. This would need to be sort of filled up once or twice during the process. With the bigger water reservoir, I don't need to refill it at all. So this kind of goes through the machine here, and it comes out here and it drips down, and you can just see a little bit of lime scale there, because the only problem with these Brinsea incubators is you have warranty on them, but the moment you unscrew to get inside, because there's kind of like, if you look here, there's kind of an inside plastic and an outside plastic, there's a gap in between. If you unscrew that to get to the underside plastic, you have to remove the fan, and then you void your warranty. So I have managed, I've basically ended up ruining one screw, and it's just ripped the head off. So I can't fully get them separated, and I can't get to this little bit here. It's actually this front area that is the worst. So a little bit of lime scale, it's not going to kill it, it's not going to do harm in any way. I've just got to get the head of that screw sorted, get the screw out, and then a new one put in. So this is your humidity valve. So what essentially is, if it's closed, your humidity goes up higher. Goes up higher. Yep. And then if it's open, the humidity drops because you're allowing the humidity to come out of there. Just making sure I give the right information. So you've got your 4 rotating cradles in there that are joined to this cog, and it will make like a beeping noise, and then it will rotate slightly to the left or right depending on what it's on. So obviously the cradles are connected to that little bit of plastic here, and they move in unison with the cog. I never actually mess around with this, I just leave it as on the lowest setting. So what are we at the moment? See how dark it is if I don't use my light. We're at 36.8 and at 33 humidity. Yeah, so this was running for 24 hours, and technically I should have run the humidity as well, but I forgot to put my little tube in. Now this tube does need to be replaced now and again because it does fill up with lime scale. I've probably got one more hatch on it before it needs to be replaced, and it's really fiddly because all of this casing needs to come out, and there's like a kind of, I don't know if you can see it in there, oh there you go, can you see it turning around? There you go, you can see it like that. So what that essentially does is it creates pressure and it draws water from your water vessel there, and then it draws it through through this and then drops it down there. But it doesn't seem to be increasing much, so it might mean that I need my, I'll keep an eye on it, but it might mean that I need my tubing to be replaced this time. But it's just fiddly. So you do get the extra tubing with the unit when you buy it. I've had this unit quite a few years now, absolutely love it. So yeah, there we go. So I will now show you what I do to make sure that my eggs are okay and fit to go in. So bear with me 1 second. Okie dokie, so my eggs are here. Now these are eggs from my own flock. Now what I've got in my flock are 4 showgirl hens, a pilky hen, which is a mix between a Pekin and a silky, and I desperately want to get a pure flock, but I can't let Hennifer go. I've rehomed the others that don't fit into the breed that I wanted, but I can't let Hennifer go. She was sold and she didn't actually get on where she was, and she came back to me, so I kind of took that as a sign that she needs to stay. So the good thing about her is that I know with the rooster that I've got, the rooster that I've got is a silky, I know what combination they make together, and I know what the babies come out like. They kind of come out with like a chipmunk pattern, so I know that those babies are 3/4 silky and 1/4 Pekin. So before my eggs go into my incubator, some people wash them and some people do them in a Listerine bath. I don't do anything with them. Mainly because eggs have a protective bloom on the outside, and if you remove the protective bloom, then you leave the egg vulnerable to bacteria. So what I do before I put my eggs in for incubation, obviously I've messed around with it, so the humidity is all funky. Humidity isn't a huge issue within the first few days, and some people decide to dry hatch entirely, and what dry hatching means is they don't actually put any humidity into the machine until lockdown. So with these eggs, they hatch on day, I think it's day 17. Yes, these hatch on day 17, which means that they go into lockdown on day 14. Now what lockdown means is that the eggs are removed from the cradles are removed from the machine, and the eggs are placed on the bottom of the incubator. And what that does is it essentially means that the chick settles into place, knows where up from down is, and can get itself into the correct position to hatch. If the chick isn't in the correct position to hatch, the chick will die inside the egg. So what I've got here is an egg candler. Now I believe this is my Brinsea one. Yeah, so I've got a Titan downstairs in my bedroom, and I've got a Brinsea one here, and I've actually got candle wax on it. And the reason I've got candle wax on it is because I ordered some quail eggs that arrived just smashed to pieces, and one of the ways that you can kind of fix the shell is to put candle wax around the shell, as long as the membrane isn't split or broken. If you can fix the egg with candle wax, there is a high chance that they will make it, and in my case we ended up getting 4 out of 12. So not fantastic, but ultimately I only need 2 boys, so you know what's going to happen. I'm going to end up with loads of girls. The one time I want boys, I'm going to get girls. So I've got my candler, nice and bright. Brinsea ones are really nice and bright. So what I do is I go through each egg, and I'm actually looking through my camera at the moment. I'm going to turn my light off actually, so it's easier to see. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, so bedroom lights off. Now you place the egg onto the candler, and I do it so the pointed end is at the top. Your air cell is at the bottom. Now what I'm checking for is I'm checking to make sure that the air cell is intact, it's not displaced, it's not moving around, it's a fair size, and there are no chips, cracks or breaks inside the egg, on the eggshell. No, the membrane isn't split, and it is a good egg. Now a lot of people that don't candle their eggs prior to putting them into the incubator, they go bad. really bad. There is nothing, or if you think of the rotten egg smell, that's literally what they are talking about. And they explode, quite literally. You touch them and they will go bang, and they cover everything in their vicinity with rotten egg, including the other eggs, your incubator, and you are in trouble. So it might take me a while, but I check to make sure that every egg doesn't have any defects in it, and if it does, it doesn't make it into the incubation batch. Now, a little bit of poop doesn't matter. Again, the protective bloom will protect from that, and again, if you wipe the poop off, you risk damaging the protective bloom. So you can see the air cell at the bottom of the egg, nice and big and intact. Now, what I can see from this egg is that it's a little bit porous. Now, this could be from one of our newer laying hens. One of my showgirls has just come into lay, so this is quite common from a hen that is just starting to kind of figure things out. So if I'm correct, this will be a potential showgirl egg. So that egg makes it in. Now, again, a little bit porous. These aren't cracks, they are completely smooth. These are just a little bit of porosity through the shell. Now that means that what I can do is I can just uptake on their calcium. So a little bit of liquid calcium in their drinking water, and that should solve that issue. So